new drinks are now at McDonald's. With refreshers like the strawberry watermelon refresher and the mango pineapple refresher with popping boba. To crafted sodas like the Sprite Berry Blast with berry flavors and cold foam. Who knew ice cold drinks could be so fire? Try them all now at McDonald's.
Refreshers contain caffeine. Copyright 2026, The Coca-Cola Company. Sprite is a registered trademark of The Coca-Cola Company.
Introducing Fidelity Trader Plus. With customizable tools and charts you can access across all your devices. Try our most powerful trading platform yet at fidelity.com/trader plus. Investing involves risk, including risk of loss. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE, SIPC.
I'm Jessica, and this is Daebak K-Rambles, where a couple of friends review Korean dramas, except for today. Today we're doing something a little different. For this episode, I am joined by Lola from Lola Pops Off About K-Dramas. Welcome back, Lola. How are you?
Hi. Thank you for having me yet again. I always enjoy being here.
Yeah, we were just here very recently for the When Life Gives You Tangerines episode. You and Carol were so graciously on that review. And yeah, hot on the heels on When Life Gives You Tangerines, we are going to talk about sad K-dramas and why they kind of stick a little better than happy ending K-dramas that maybe have a little more fluff than angst or tragedy. So I am here basically with a self-described crybaby.
I am. Thank you. I was like, I was going to introduce myself as such, but thank you for doing that.
No,
Yes.
I think it's important that we all know that I am not, I don't describe myself as a crybaby. I do have emotions though, and I have cried a lot in K-dramas. But you have been watching K-dramas for decades, definitely longer than I have. And with all this dedicated watching, I basically would love to hear your thoughts on sad and tragic K-dramas. So what have you been watching lately? I know it's been really recent to the When Life Gives You Tangerines episode, but if you have something you'd like to share with the class before we get into
I have something? That's a good point. Yes. What is the name of that drama? I actually really started, I was behind. I had started it, watched the first like 2 episodes and kind of forgotten about it. But it's the drama with Park Shin-hye on Netflix where she's like disguised as
Miss Hong?
Miss Hong, yes.
Yes.
Something Miss Hong. Yeah, I'm actually like, I started marathoning it to catch up and I was like, I really am enjoying this. Surprisingly, I know I said I was like, I was unsure when I finished the first 2 episodes, but that's actually what I've been watching most recently. Just kind of catching up on it, and it's actually pretty good. It's pretty good.
Nice. I like to hear it. That's definitely on my list of finish 2026, and I think that show did pretty well in Korea. So
that's what I was wondering. I feel like I didn't hear much about it, so I think that's why I forgot about it. And then when I went back to it, I was like, this is actually quality. Like I don't why are more people talking about it? But maybe like you said, it's in Korea, it did really well, and that's what I'm not hearing.
All right, so before we get into this really freestyle of an episode, please go ahead and subscribe on your favorite podcast app. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and many more. And if you like us, please give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Come check us out on social media to stay up to date on our latest episodes and reviews. You can find us on Instagram and TikTok at Daebak Pod, DAEBAKPOD. And lastly, if you're a fan, please consider becoming a patron. It's a great way for you to get involved and show your support and get extra content. You can check out the page on patreon.com/DaebakPod. And shout out to my patrons: Curtis, Bale, Alana, Lorna, Sammy, Julia number 1, Caitlin, Tanmei, Marta, Delphia, Maria, Sarah, Pam, Julia number 2, Nadira, Matthew, Lauda, Christine, and Kate B. Thank you guys for supporting the show. All right, so this is a different thing that we're going to do today. We're not going to be reviewing a full K-drama or C-drama. We're going to talk about sad K-dramas and why they build stronger fandoms. So we have watched quite a few sad K-dramas in our time, and I think we want to kind of pose a few questions. And one of them is, if a drama made you miserable, why are you still thinking about it years later? Why are you drawn to being miserable? So on and so forth. I think that the core concept of this episode is sad K-dramas don't just tell stories, they create shared emotional labor. And I think that comfort shows have their place, happy endings have their place, but pain also has its place.
Pain has its place.
I think a lot of the time, if a drama broke you emotionally and made you feel things, and especially sad things, you'll kind of always remember it and never leave it.
This summer, serve up the cookout classics, Oscar Mayer hot dogs and Heinz mustard. Grill up a dog, add classic yellow mustard, or loaded Chicago style. We all know it's not a cookout without Oscar Mayer and Heinz.
I completely agree with that. And when you approached me, of all people, to be on this exact episode, I was like, are you sure you want me to be here? Just because I genuinely, because I'm such a crybaby, I have a really, really hard time watching sad K-dramas. Like, if I know beforehand that it's super sad, I will avoid it most of the times. Well, that's in recent years. Like, back in the day when I was starting my K-drama journey, I watched whatever I could get my hands on. So I was suffering through a lot of those dramas in the beginning there. But over time, with all the K-dramas that we have access to now, I typically go out of my way to avoid dramas that I know just the premise is sadness, to be honest. But so I think if people listen to me on my podcast, they'll probably think that I dislike sad K-dramas. Like, that is one of my, like, nope, I don't like them. But then going through, like, preparing for this episode, I had a moment of, like, you know what? Let me really look at this. Like, do I dislike sad K-dramas, or is it a type of sad K-drama that I dislike? And that is what I think a lot of my, like, notes on talking about sad K-dramas today, it kind of helped me realize, like, there's different types of sad K-dramas, and I think I prefer a certain type. So I do like sad K-dramas. It just isn't a certain ones. And I think usually it's the ones that have the biggest fandoms, the ones that, like you said, the shared experience of, like, we suffered through this drama together, guys, let's, hold our hands. We made it through, I don't know if those are my favorite, where I feel like I had to suffer through a drama with people. Like, guys, why are we doing this to ourselves? So, yeah, I just, like, that was one of my kind of takeaways preparing for this episode. Was like, actually, I do like sad K-dramas. It just has to be a certain type of sad, I think.
Okay, I totally understand you, because I'm a mood watcher, and so sometimes I don't want to watch a sad K-drama, or I don't feel like feeling all these big feelings, and prefer something a little less involved or something with less heavy lifting emotionally. And that's fine, except I feel like there's a pervasive movement in K-drama fandom where let's avoid anything that hurts us.
You think so?
Yeah.
You think there's a movement in that? I thought, well, I
there
think
are
maybe a later time.
Too many people out
recent
here
times. Yeah.
that only want the fluff, only want the happy endings, really get upset when they sign up for a show that is two hot people falling in love under terrible circumstances, and when the circumstances overwhelm the story in very believable ways, they get pissed off.
It's too much. Yeah. That is, I guess that's more in recent times, probably, right? Like, I think I wouldn't say maybe. I think it is sprinkled throughout time, the K-drama time. But I do feel like, I can see now where it's like people go into K-dramas expecting a certain experience.
They want that escapism.
Yes. If I don't have that, then what are you doing? Why would you do this to me? Yeah, I get it. I get it.
They want that escapism. They want that no emotional labor.
Yes, and I love that. I mean, that's one of my favorite type of K-dramas to watch.
This is not to bash those shows.
No, I love those.
I love those shows too. They have their place. But what I'm saying is these shows, the tragic shows, the sad shows, also have their place.
Absolutely.
And I don't think we should necessarily 365 days a year avoid these things.
No.
Just because they make us a little uncomfortable. I think a lot of that is the point.
It is.
Yeah.
And I think it's fascinating that we're talking about this after doing When Life Gives You Tangerines, because I think it was a point in the episode that you said something like, this is the point of this. They're trying to, basically you're supposed to feel all of these feelings. And I think like I said, when I was thinking about this episode ahead of time, I was just like, you know what? I think I have the hardest time with sad K-dramas though, when it is this kind of directive to be sad. Like they're from episode 1, they're telling me you need to be sad. This story, you're supposed to be sad. And I feel like you're telling me how to feel. And I don't really appreciate that. So that's when I was like, when I think about the type of sad K-dramas that I do not enjoy, typically they are stories that kind of from the episode 1, they're like, you know what? You get prepared to just be sad the entire time. Like I told you, when life gives you tangerines, I cried every episode. There was something in every episode that made me just be like, this is sad, you know? So I feel like I was being told, just be sad and get over it. And I think that experience of like enduring the suffering of the sad drama connects people too. You're like, we all made it through this, guys. You know, every episode you're crying, you're upset. And you're like, oh my gosh, look at what we did together. We made it through this horrible suffering. We watched these characters suffer through. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't wear that as a badge sometimes. It's like just sitting through the really, and I'm really thinking about not when life gives you tangerines specifically. I'm thinking about, you know, early 2000s, how you wave, the melodramas, everybody must die, everyone is sick and everyone needs to die. No one can be happy kind of K-dramas. I think that's the ones I'm thinking about, where it's like from episode 1, they're telling you, just be sad and get over it. Just be sad. I don't know. I'm not okay with that. I prefer the sadness to kind of like jump out at me and kind of like, what? I can't believe this happened moment. You know, the ones that kind of break through and you're like, I didn't expect this to be so sad all of a sudden. You know, I really connect with those.
You know, what's really interesting about what you're saying is that you like sad K-dramas when they're not overtly from episode 1 telling you how to feel.
Correct.
And that's fine, because I don't like seeing the strings either. I don't like seeing
the strings,
the puppet master kind of thing in a K-drama or any show really. Is like, hey, I'm seeing too much of the mechanism. I don't like that. I don't like that I'm put on an emotional leash here and I can only feel one way.
Yes. Because I'm thinking about when we did I'm Sorry, I Love You.
Oh,
remember we did that one? Remember?
Yes.
That's a good example of that for me. It's like, you get ready. Episode 1, prepare to be sad all the way through. You must be sad. You know, I don't remember feeling much more about that drama than the sadness at times.
Heartbreak
and frustration and maybe that. But yeah, heartbreak and sadness was what I was only allowed to feel in that drama.
I'm thinking of Western shows that have this missive to be sad. Like that is the K-drama melodramatic genre is so unique.
It's unique.
It's so unique. Because I'm like, where have I watched a show that is pure pain from start to finish?
They don't have that. I don't know if they have
in
that,
the West,
right?
and I just don't think there is that type of show. And so it's like, okay, where do you go if you want? If you want like a long form story, not a movie that does that, you have to go overseas. And K-dramas are uniquely poised. I don't know what they do, what they feed those writers, what they feed those actors. But like, I think the melodrama in K-drama is amazing and fantastic. And you do have to be in the mood for it. And you do have to be willing to accept the pain, the hurt. I will say, I feel like sad dramas invite a lot of conversation like we're having right now. And it's not a lot of consensus. When you get strict happy endings over and over and over again, I feel like that ends the discussion. You know, when you're talking to somebody about like, I don't know, business proposal or
I have very little to say about this. I'm sorry.
I don't know, strong woman topong soon. Like these are happy, generally lighter.
Consensus on, oh, this was fun. This was
fun.
Time.
This was great. You know, it hit the spot. It feels like you're eating something that everybody loves, and it's not necessarily challenging you at all. Sad endings start debates. I think bar none, they do.
They do, absolutely. Which is my favorite thing about sad endings. And I do think, well, again, I'm picking on certain types of dramas where it's like sad from episode 1 to sad to the sad ending. You know, it's like we were just gonna be sad the whole way through. I think one that really stuck out to me was Autumn in My Heart. Yes. That's what I'm talking about.
Which is old. Like,
Stuff
that's a
like
26-year-old drama, I believe.
It is.
But,
it is up there.
But and I don't necessarily feel like it's showing its age, other than everyone looks really young.
Everyone looks so baby in there. Oh, they are just babies. But that is another example of those experiences where, like, I feel like there's less debate with those type of dramas, because it's like, it's sad from point 1 to point 10.
Well, I think
sad.
the debate is, do you accept it or do you deny it?
Do you accept what?
Do you accept the chain of events that led to this outcome? And
do you
these
accept
plot
it?
mechanics that feel so Shakespearean and mythic that they just overwhelm these characters. And you always want the best for characters, especially if they're, Song Hye-kyo crying
Yes.
with so much emotion and beauty. But like, this isn't going to end well. And I don't think people like that things don't end well.
I of course.
They want the
definitely
fairy
think
tale.
that. Of course. But I feel like the way the Autumn in My Heart is set up is like, there is no expectation that it's going to end well. Like, I don't expect it's going to end well.
That's the thing, is that I feel like we can see the ship is going down.
You can see the ending. And I think that's what I don't enjoy. I don't enjoy the process of watching the countdown. I don't like the countdown. I don't like the countdown to the bad, sad ending. I'd rather it be like, I did not know that was going to be a bad, sad ending.
Surprise.
I like the surprise. I like it to kind of just like, take me for a loop. And I feel like a story like Autumn in My Heart, just no. I knew that was not going to end well.
What are some shows that really surprised you with their melancholic ending?
So I would say, and this is not exactly my main example for this, but I wanted to jump on a story, like a drama that really just like the sadness that is embedded in this story, to me, is my cup of tea. And people are gonna be like, really? Is that even a sad drama? But Heartless City. I think Heartless City. I know that I knew that was gonna shock everybody, but I was like, Heartless City to me is like, man, you speak with me, and sadness, because there's this beginning of the story where
this is a noir. For those who don't know, this is noir.
Yes, and I love a good noir. I'm a stan of a good noir. I'm a stan of action, romance. Like that is one of my fortes. So Heartless City has my heart for a lot of other reasons. But when I was thinking about like a sad drama, to me, this drama still rings like as like a very sad experience for me, because I think. And I was looking into this when I was doing like my notes for this episode, and there was this idea, I don't know if you've heard of it, but I came across this thought process of a narrative theory called rupture, like a rupture theory, where in a story, in a narrative, there's this moment where the story gets kind of blown open. Like it just kind of like, oh my gosh, there's a huge hole in this story now that the characters have to kind of navigate around. And it usually happens with like a major sudden death that's like a surprise. So like in Heartless City, the beginning, the detective, his fiance, I think she was the fiance, like her getting shot in the head in the opening of that drama. It's like, whoa, what is this? And then the rest of the characters then have to go around and like their lives completely alter once that big rupture moment happens. And I love that process of like, maybe instead of watching the person die throughout 16 episodes, I like to see the process of grieving the death that happened already. So like in Heartless City, and then going into like the ending of Heartless City. Oh my gosh. Like when I tell you that ending was just like another rupture moment. And it's like those endings of sadness that's like basically pure on consequences of like what the characters have done throughout the course of that story. Like, yeah, this is what ended up happening because of what you were doing this entire story. Like, this is the consequence. And like that sadness hurts me more. Like, because it was like kind of, you could have avoided that, but like Autumn in My Heart, like the sad terminal illness, like they can't avoid that sad ending, this I can, like the characters could have at some point avoided possibly this sad ending, but
the
they
thing
didn't.
is, so here's the thing, is that terminal illness wasn't from jump. It didn't happen from episode 1.
It didn't, but
it was like all of these, big feelings happening throughout the show, and then boom, she gets this terrible diagnosis. So you're like, oh my God.
I know.
So it's not necessarily that we are dealing with the rupture of her terminal illness from an early
beginning.
episode. We are dealing with it and hoping for the best. Hoping for a miracle, right? And I think to your point, Heartless City, the way I remember watching Heartless City was this noir. There's all of these characters who have secrets from each other, and they're trying to, some of them are trying to do the right thing, some of them are not. Some of them are villains, right?
Yes.
But they're all thrown into the same gently increasing in heat pot, right?
Yes.
They're all on the stove together in this
they're
giant
boiling
pot.
right now.
They're boiling slowly. And as the drama turns up the heat, you really expect some of these little frogs to jump out and save themselves.
You expect, exactly.
And they don't.
And they don't.
They don't.
There it
You're like,
is.
oh my God.
Why not? Why didn't you? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So the sadness comes sort of like, why? Why did that sadness
And
have
in
to
a very
happen?
similar sense, you're waiting for a miracle.
True.
You're hoping for a miracle.
You're hoping for the best.
Yeah.
But nope, it doesn't come. But I guess I wouldn't compare Autumn Heart with that, my experience of. I would think of more like.
I mean, they're different tropes and different
tropes.
genres,
Yes,
but.
yes. But I definitely can see the idea of watching someone like I said, Autumn Heart, like the beginning where her being so down on her luck to the fullest extent. I mean, it was like this, she's not allowed to be happy. Like, she is not allowed.
Yeah.
No, at no point. She must be sad, so we must be sad. And then you give her a terminal illness towards the end. It was just like, well, there goes that one. Like, I can't really remember a part where it's like, was she ever happy? Was there ever a moment where you gave her a situation where it's like, she's enjoying her life for the first time? It was never that way. So the sadness was just so prescribed, like from the very beginning all the way to them giving her a disease that kills her, and I think I talked about this in my episode because I found a good article about this in K-Dramas from that time period about what happened in Bali.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I was scared to bring it up because I was
What
like,
is that, 04?
Yes.
Okay.
Because there was an article that talked about those types of dramas during that time being geared towards fatalism on purpose because the times were so dire. So it was like people needed to see on screen people doing worse off than themselves so that they themselves can kind of manage their life that was not the best, So I feel like that's another reason why sad K-dramas, especially during that time, it was meant to make people join people in that collective of like, hey, your life may not be going the best right now, but look at these characters. She was tortured since she was a young girl, and look at her. And then she gets a disease and she dies. You know what I mean? So I was like, your life is better compared to that. So I think that was
love that
purposeful. Yeah, and it was an article about that, specifically about those dramas and what happened in Bali was one of those examples they gave.
I absolutely think that's true.
It is so true.
It's so true. And I think there's an article that I saw last night about, I want to say it was from berkeley.edu. I don't know. But it was about sad music. Like, why do we love sad music? Why do we love torturing ourselves in that way? And one of the concepts it brought up was safe sadness. And it's basically an emotional gym. They give us, in this context, sad songs, but sad anything, right? Sad songs give us a safe, controlled space in which we can explore simulated sadness. They are the emotional equivalent of Neo sparring with Morpheus in the Matrix movie. And I'm like, okay.
Okay.
It lets us experiment with and learn from this emotion. We can enhance our empathy, learn to better see things from other people's perspectives, and try out various responses to sadness. And it makes us better prepared in real life for when real loss strikes.
Yep.
So I think that's very true, to have this like safe, controlled experience of sadness, of these big emotions, and not have the consequences of it. Right? Like, you can definitely unpack this on your own time, on your own terms, but there's nothing impacting your life. There's nothing that's keeping you from going to work the next morning.
This episode is brought to you by Redfin. You're listening to a podcast, which means you're probably multitasking, maybe even scrolling home listings on Redfin, saving homes without expecting to get them. But Redfin isn't just built for endless browsing. It's built to help you find and own a home. With agents who close twice as many deals, when you find the one, you've got a real shot at getting it. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
Well, I'm like, when I get really wrecked by a drama or a story, like I struggle for days after. I do struggle to go to work the next day.
Yeah, I mean, In this other article that I saw, there were a couple of scholars that named the feeling of being moved by a sad, poignant, or bittersweet story as appreciation, and suggest that people seek out stories that will elicit this feeling when they are hoping to uncover meaning or deeper truths. And I think that's definitely wrapped into this concept of when times are tough, why do people also seek out tough stories?
It takes, like you said, it allows you to experience. Well, it also feels like the idea of like you get to see, hey, maybe my issues aren't as bad then, right? Like maybe if you're like, I watched this story and these horrible things happen to these characters and that's not happening to me. So the stuff that I am experiencing that may be, you know, a little bit uncomfortable in my life or things that I'm not enjoying doesn't mean that my life is the saddest, most horrible thing.
Right. It gives you perspective.
Look at these characters. Yes. Perspective. Yeah.
Gives you perspective, helps you feel grateful. Because your life isn't that bad. Like, at least I don't have terminal illness after I found the love of my life. You know, that stuff really helps you combat those feelings of my life is terrible. And it's really not.
And it's not. And I don't see what's wrong with that, right? Like that is also why we watch things. That's why we read things. That's just why we listen to sad music. You know, you do need spaces to go to kind of give you perspective on where you really are in your life. Like, okay, I'm okay. I'm okay. It's not that bad. I can make it another day.
You know, there's this article that I have been coming in and out of. I think it's from verywellmind.com, written by some PhD. And so the way that this article starts, I wanted to bring it up. It says, throughout history, humans have been drawn to fictional sad stories, from Shakespeare's tragedies like Hamlet and Romeo and Juliet to challenging films like Schindler's List and Titanic. Why do we like sad things so much? And I was like, okay, let's sit on Titanic for a second, because there's also been a movement in the last few years of like terrorizing the actors that have been in Titanic, especially Kate Winslet. Every time they go on some sort of interview, they're like, why couldn't Kate let him onto the door, let him onto that mantle or whatever the hell it was? Like Jack could have fit.
He could have made it.
Jack could have made it.
He could have made it. Yep.
And it's like, I don't give a shit if Jack could have made it.
That's not the point.
That's
of
not
the
the
story.
point of
That's the point.
Yeah.
He had to die.
He had to die.
Yes,
Exactly.
yes.
I think that is what we're getting at here, is that a lot of the times it's not whether or not they could have made it.
Of course.
There could have been a Hail Mary, if there could have been a miracle.
Of course.
Of course there could have been.
Yes.
Of course there could have
It's
been.
a story. It's fiction. You can do whatever you want.
You can do
whatever you want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I want to kill them is what they said instead. You know, I want them to die.
Right.
So we take it.
We take it. And the thing with Titanic is you would not remember Titanic, other than the fact that it is based on a true tragedy.
Yes.
The fact that Jack dies in this, that makes the whole movie.
It does. I mean, it makes the love story.
It makes a love story.
It makes the love story.
It's why
me.
she
Yes.
keeps remembering him the rest of her life.
He left her life. This little lady, you know, she drops the necklace into the water, you know.
It's been 84 years and she's still thinking of Jack
still
Dawson.
Thinking about him.
Like, he died
That's
for
the point
her.
of the love story. That's the
He
point of the love
saved her
story.
ass.
Exactly. If you did not kill him, she would have forgotten him. She would have forgotten him.
You think that relationship was going to last on land? On the mainland?
It wasn't.
Come on.
It wasn't. The classes, their statuses were different. It couldn't happen, you know?
So I don't like that conversation. I think that's like 101 level of like, hey, it's fun in the moment to terrorize Kate Winslet and be like, why couldn't you let Jack on the door? But I'm sure Kate feels some type of way about how the plot progressed and is like, yeah, but
it had to happen.
It had to
the
happen.
Story.
So, there's a lot of stories like that too in K-drama land where you're like, that just had to happen, sorry to say.
Yes.
And some of those stories really bother people, like the endings of 2521, The Red Sleeve, the ending of Moon Lovers, Scarlet Heart Ryeo, the ending of Mr. Sunshine, Youth of May. All of these stories are a version of why couldn't Jack get on the door?
Get on the door.
Like,
oh my
did this
gosh,
have
I'm glad
to happen?
you brought up 2521. I love that you brought up that because I was the biggest fan of that ending. Like to this day, I think I stood 10 toes on like, that was lovely. That was beautiful. Like it wasn't sad. It felt purposeful. It felt meaningful. Like it felt just like a real honest ending for those characters, as in like their story, their personalities, the way that they were presented on screen, those characters would have chose that decision. Sorry. I believe them, you know? And so I love that you said that about 25, 21, where people were like up in arms,
They were like, they could have made it. They could
They
have
could have
made
made
it.
But I know people heard my theory on this. I was like, I genuinely believe though that in their old age, they would have found each other again. Like she would have got, I definitely have this theory. Like they would have been the couple that.
What an epic epilogue
I
you have
know.
in your head.
I have a beautiful epilogue. So maybe that's why I also was so okay with the ending. But I was like, you know, she eventually, you know, something happens with her husband. She's no longer with him. He never marries. And then, I mean, they are in their old age and they see the end, you know, see the end together. Like I genuinely believe
gotta be honest. You can do 45, 41. You
know,
can convince me easily.
I would eat it up with a huge spoon. Like if they wanted to do
55,
tag me
51.
in. Tag me in. 55, 51. Tag me in. I am ready. I could help with that one. That would be a beautiful. I mean, I can see it already. It wouldn't be sad ending.
I like how you bring up a great point, is that like no matter what the sad ending is, you can find some respite from it and you can ease your way out of the pain.
Yes.
Whether you imagine these characters in a better scenario down the line or what have you. And I think that's the power of imagination. A lot of people don't got imaginations.
I got tons of it. I got tons.
Even for open endings, I'm like, oh, that's very open to interpretation.
I love
that. I interpret it this way. You can interpret it the positive way, glass half full, or you can interpret it negatively and say, oh, they didn't end up together, they died, whatever.
Yes.
And glass half empty. It just depends. You can give yourself that comfort if you want to.
You can, if you want to. But then, speaking of that, do you feel like there are moments or there are stories for you, or especially like K-dramas, where you're like, you cannot soothe yourself afterwards? Like it was like, I don't know how I can picture I can't believe this happened. Like I am rocking back and forth in a, you know, white padded room. Like this broke me. I mean, I have those because I'm a sucker for these type of stories, but like, I definitely feel like there are some where to this day, I'm like, I don't think I can move on from that.
I think there's some that leave me with a little more shock than others.
That's what I mean. Okay. That's
and
what
not
I'm
necessarily that like, they're dragging me away into a padded room. And I'm like, they made it. They were together.
They did it.
I would say Move to Heaven is one of those where I was like very close to
I've never watched it.
Oh.
And for a good reason. It was sad.
And mind you, Move to Heaven is really positive. Like it's a positive look on grief and healing. I'm still like, this is very strong espresso on that one. My Mister, a little bit. And that one again ends on a positive.
It does. But it was a sadness that was, to me, I always describe it as like palpable.
Yes.
Like I could taste it. I could feel it. It was all over me throughout the entire drama. I was like, this sadness is, I can't shake it. So even when you get to that ending where it's like, there's a little bit of a positive note here.
Yeah.
And I still can't shake that sadness.
Yeah. It's like a weighted blanket on me.
A weight. Hey, we like a good weighted blanket, but
I do enjoy a good weighted blanket.
This is not that comfortable, okay? I want it off of me, actually.
What's another one? Goblin? Come on.
I have Goblin written down for this. I wanted us to talk about Goblin.
Okay, go for it.
I definitely feel like Goblin for me is a great example of that, of this idea of, you know what? I think this is a category of stories or K-dramas that really get to me. And it's this mortality, like as the frame. Like it's not about like, oh, we're, you know, terminal illness, someone's going to die by the end. But it's like this idea of like, because you're a human, it's sad. You know, like because you're a human, because you have the capability to die, you know, this is the story. Because like with Goblin, he's immortal. And because he can't die, there's sadness in that. He sees all these people that he cares about over time die. So it's like the fact of just being mortal is the sad thing. You know what I mean?
Right. And fate as well. That one's fate.
And
I mean, a lot of these are heavy on fate, but Goblin.
Oh, heavy on fate. So yeah, Goblin for me was just like, it's also a drama I always say, like, I wish I could experience it for the first time again. Like, is that type of drama? Because the way it shook me, the way it just completely took me for a loop. I can't experience that again now that I've seen it and now that I've gone through the loops. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's such a sad, oh my God, it gets to me just thinking about that ending. I'm like, really, guys?
It gets to me. I think it's powerful when we can explore anguish.
Anguish. Oh, I think anguish is beautiful. When their story is able to describe anguish, and then you have a beautiful performance on top, because you know that everybody can't express anguish the same. Like, I feel like that's another experience, like the acting. Everyone can't just be a good actor in sad drama. Some people don't cry the best. Some people cry beautifully, you know. So
exactly.
That adds to it, you know. But anguish and Goblin, I mean,
when you get it, like in the vein,
anguish?
You're like, oh my God, that's good shit.
It hurts.
I mean, too good.
Yes, I love that. Experiencing anguish, and it's just, in a drama, it can really get to you. It can.
Yeah, I think we're touching on the fact that we think anguish, when done well, is beautiful.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Absolutely.
I don't think a lot of people see it that way too, is that sad things and bad things happening to good people, that is its own beauty.
It is, unfortunately.
It's its own art.
It sounds weird. Yeah, it's weird to say, but it is.
The article that talks about sad music from Berkeley EDU said sadness might just happen to coincide with beauty. Indeed, seeing acts of moral virtue or beauty have been suggested to provoke feelings of elevation and can touch, move, and inspire us. This is what much tragic art does. It takes the pain and the suffering and the sadness of the world and gives it meaning.
It does. Because a lot of things about, I think the problem with the human mind and experience is the ability that we want to always be able to understand and explain and be like, this makes sense because of X, Y, and Z. And when you sometimes put these stories out there where it's like, why did this happen to this person? You're like, I don't have an explanation. Like, why? That really can hurt us. So giving us something like a drama and watching a character go through something and then having them kind of explain why bad things happen to good people sometimes, or like, this is what can happen when you do this, you know. You're kind of like, okay, I kind of understand why sometimes bad things can happen. And I think it helps make sense of the bad stuff, because we like to make sense of things.
I agree. Yeah, we try and process a lot of things, and there's different ways to do that. One of those is to experience it secondhand through these stories. I truly don't think there's a reason to avoid it all the time. Yes. Yes. And like I said, I was coming into this thinking like, oh, I'm the person who hates watching sad dramas, but I'm not. I realized that I'm not. It's just a type of sadness that I avoid personally. But I do not mind watching a drama where there's like a heart-wrenching, heartbreaking ending, you know, that was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that happened. You know, I do like a good sad drama, and I don't avoid them always. I promise. I don't. I agree. I don't avoid them all the time. I think the ones that I avoid tend to be trauma bonding stories where like two people go through the same horrific thing. Yeah, I don't. And they find solace in each other. I don't know why that does not work for me. It does not work. 90% of the time. Yeah, 90%. And I think for me personally, I am also on that train for me as well. And I think my other one is, and everyone knows this, and this is a personal thing, like terminal illness. That is the one I will avoid. You cannot get the terminal illness. I cannot do it. Like, I literally, like, When Life Gives You Tangerine, I was watching that drama a little bit after it had aired, like its first part. Like, so I was delayed. And so when I got to episode 6, I believe, when she lost her son, as horrific as that moment was, that wasn't a reason for me to stop watching the drama. What made me stop watching the drama a year ago was the fact that I got spoiled that our lovely, you know, Mel Lee was going to get sick and die. Like, I just was like, I'm not going to watch that. And that forced me to completely stop watching that drama when I was enjoying it originally. So I feel like I have a really hard time with those stories. I have a really, really hard time. And it's just a personal thing. I think it's just something that it's like a personal fear of mine. So I think that's why I don't appreciate it. But I will say, and just watching some of them at times when I do force myself through these, it does help me personally process that concept a little bit better each time. So it's like, as much as I do avoid those stories that have that in it, the few times that I can get one down, I can actually stomach it, like Autumn in My Heart, you know, or, you know, When Life Gives You Tangerine, when I can actually go back and watch it.
each time I feel like it helps me process it again. So it goes back to what we were just talking about. Like, it helps me make sense of this thing that is just like, for me, it really, really kind of throws me for a loop. So, yeah, I think that's how it is with most sad dramas. I think everybody has like a category that is like, yeah, no, I'm just not going to enjoy that one. I already can tell you. Like you said, like their trauma bonding one. I mean, what is a good example of one?
I personally bring up Just Between Lovers, aka Rain or Shine.
Never watched.
Yeah, that one. I watched 15 out of 16 episodes and was like, you know what?
I'm done. You said I'm done.
Yeah.
After watching 15 out of 16, you said,
but I should just go back and watch the final episode.
Right. Yes, you should probably just go back. But I have done that before. You're just like, I'm not even watching the last episode. I just can't. Why? Why bother? Why do it? So don't go back, actually. Don't go back.
Stick to my guns.
Stick to it. Stick to it. Oh my goodness.
We've brought up a few dramas. Some of them are in this genre of slice of life. Would you go out on a limb and say that sadness is the lifeblood of slice of life dramas?
No. No. I don't think so. You think so? You think sadness is the kind of like lifeline that keeps those going through? Because when I think of, I'm a huge fan of slice of life dramas. But to me, I feel like the ones that I enjoy.
I don't think you can have a slice of life drama and have it just be happy.
No, absolutely not. I don't agree with that. Yeah, I completely agree with that. It can't be happy all the way, because I think that's the point of the slice of life dramas, is supposed to have this realism to it, and a part of the realistic living life is that sometimes things are good, sometimes things are bad, you know, sometimes you're happy, sometimes you're sad. So I think, to me, the fact that slice of life dramas do a great job, or should, to me, do a great job of showcasing those kind of ups and downs in life, to me, it feels less sad. It feels more lived through and experienced. So like, just like, oh, these are these experiences, and sometimes, like I said, they're happy and sometimes they're sad. But I feel like there's other stories where, like a melodrama, if it's not sad, it's not a melodrama. You know, it's not. It cannot.
If that's not the genre, then
it's not the genre. Yeah. So I feel like that is where I feel like is the lifeline of a melodrama. Is like, you have to just be sad throughout most of it. But slice of life, I see a lot of like, just, you know, sometimes you're good, sometimes you're bad. You take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and there you have the facts of life.
Hey, when you started rhyming, y'all should have seen my face. Lola.
It's that song. You never know the show, The Facts of Life?
I've never
George
seen
Clooney.
No.
George Clooney.
I've never
back
seen
in the
that
young
show.
George Clooney. Oh my gosh, I'm showing my age. Oh yeah, Facts of Life. That was a good one. But I always agreed with that song. That was the theme song. You take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and there you have the facts of life. That I live by that. It's like, yeah, that is life, right? Like, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad.
Sometimes it rains, sometimes it pours.
You're so silly. Sometimes it rains, sometimes it pours. I love the call and response. You're waiting for it. You're like, and pour.
There it is. Man, I feel like a preacher.
That's what I was going to say. You were giving church completely. It's like, all right, everybody, come on, fill it in. What is it? What is the finish the scripture?
Let me hear it. Turn to your neighbor. Let's talk about sadness that feels earned in K-drama storytelling, and maybe some K-dramas that don't feel earned in their sadness.
I would love to hear your example of a K-drama that does not feel earned in its sadness.
Is it too antagonistic to say...
When you start like that, I'm like, uh-oh, it is. It is.
Say Moon Lovers, Scarlet Heart Ryeo.
Completely agree.
Okay.
Completely agree. I was wondering, I was going to struggle with this category. And so that's why I was like, I need to hear what you say. And then you said Moon Lovers. Like, oh, say less. That's exactly one of them. I mean, that's a drama where I was like, I could stop watching this second to last episode. Like, I was so over that drama by the end of it. The sadness felt like, I didn't feel sadness. I'm going to be 100% honest.
How do I put it?
I did not.
I want to be as kind as possible because I left it all on the dance floor on the deep dive review on the feed. So if you want to go back and listen to my true full thoughts on Moon Lovers, you can. But it just feels like a joke.
I told you, by the end, I didn't want any parts of that drama. I was like, y'all can have this. Have it. Take it.
Do you have any other shows that feel earned or unearned?
I definitely have earned.
Okay.
I definitely have earned, but I'm struggling with unearned, but I do for earned. I think, and you're gonna, I know you've said some things to me about this drama before. So I was like, this is a perfect one to bring up and have Jess make a face.
No, what is
you ready?
it?
You ready? Oh, my ghost.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. People love that show and I just keep quiet.
I love it. I know you have feel a way.
Talk to me about it. Just talk to me about the show. First of all, this is a show where there's basically two female leads. One is a ghost, one is alive. Mm-hmm. They're vastly different personalities. One's like obsessed with sex, and then the other one
No, don't do that to her. Don't say that.
She is obsessed with getting in the male lead's pants. I don't think I'm wrong in saying that.
It's because she died a virgin, guys. How about that? Come on, guys. Give her some credit. She's dead. She's dead.
The male lead falls in love with her as she's possessed the living girl.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
okay,
yes.
That's the basic premise of the show. Talk to me about Oh My Ghost.
I actually really enjoyed the drama, even though I can feel like there's a lot of the premise of him falling in love with her within this other person's body was really hard for me and that's what was so sad. That's what was so sad about this drama to me. You start the story with this ghost after, this girl who is young and dies and is murdered horribly, right? And the story is this mystery of trying to figure out who killed her and whatnot, but also her getting to experience a life that she did not get to experience because she died young. And so that, to me, that premise is like completely sad. And then you're watching her be in love with this man as a ghost, vicariously, not vicariously, but by possession, getting to experience this love affair with this guy who she does not get to be with because she's dead, So I just felt that was, to me, super sad. So I felt like I was sad the entire drama because I was like, this is really, really sad when you think about it. Like, she is dead and she never got the opportunity to live this life. And then there's this other girl that she's possessing who does get to, to live this life. I think it's sad. I think it's
don't.
Sad.
Well, the thing is, I did not buy into the show at all.
I know. That's why I was like, I wanted to hear you talk about how you don't buy into
I mean, long story short, anytime a story has this setup where a dead person, a ghost or something, falls in love with a living person, I'm like, why are we here?
Why are we here?
Why are we here?
Hey, they don't happen that often. They don't, right? I don't think they do. I think they're a novelty.
Wasn't Hotel de Luna the same setup?
Maybe. And I said,
I love how you were like,
and I said, I liked Hotel de Luna. So, I might have this might be a taste thing. Okay. No, I do genuinely think I enjoy those stories because I am a sucker for, what's the word? I guess ghost possession is a great one of these channels. Like when someone's mistaken identity, like the trope is like they're not who they really are kind of thing. I think that's just one of my favorite tropes in dramas that
I don't mind mistaken identity. That one I don't mind.
I guess it's like an offshoot. To me, it's like this isn't really the person.
Genre.
Yeah, subgenre of it. So I think that's why I think I buy into it. Okay, I buy into it. Okay, but I think it's earned. I think it's a sad premise. I know you don't, Jess, but I was like, I genuinely wanted to bring it up so that I can
you got another one on your list that feels earned.
Let's see. Yes. What about Queen for 7 Days?
I've never seen that one. I want to see it so bad.
I refused to watch it the year that it aired, and it was only like maybe 10 years later that I finally watched it because I was like, it's going to be super sad. So I avoided it for like a decade.
Oh my God.
And then finally watched it, and I was like, yeah, this was a lot better than I was expecting. And it was, to me, the sadness was completely earned because it's, it's based off of this real historical people. And so the ending of their story, right? Already know how this ends. And so it was this process of, oh my gosh, this is not going to end well kind of thing. And the ending to me still rang after, like that feeling of like once you finish the drama and that ending just kind of like, I can't get it out of my head. I can't believe it happened. So I highly recommend that drama. It took me years to watch it, and then when I did finally watch it, I was not disappointed at all.
I definitely want to watch that show. It's been on my watch list for years and years and years.
Love it.
It seems right up my alley.
That was for me. It was like, I should watch this, but I don't know if I'm prepared or ready to watch it. And I wasn't disappointed. I wasn't. So I think that would be an earned one. Another one I would probably put on my list. What about The Light in Your Eyes? You remember that one?
The Light in Your Eyes.
This one, I don't know. Maybe you haven't seen it, but this one
I don't
was
think I've seen this one. Is this with
Nam Joo Hyuk
Yes.
and Han Ji Min? It was a short one. It was like the beginning of the 12 episodes, kind of thing. And I avoided it for a little while. And then it was like a couple years after it already aired, I really ended up being like, oh, this is really good. But I also thought it was sad because it's like this older woman having this, we get to see this older woman experience herself as a young woman again. But it's like a fantasy because you don't know it's not really her. You know what I mean? It's a whole thing. It's kind of complicated. But I thought it was really sad because it was this kind of thing about aging. You know what I mean? Like you're getting to this point and your mental capabilities aren't the same as they used to be. I feel like those are really sad stories. So I feel like that was an earned scenario for me for sure.
You know what I was thinking of, and it doesn't have anything to do with earned or unearned. I was thinking back to one of the earliest melodramas that I watched, and it was Spring Waltz.
No, yeah. I did not enjoy Spring Waltz. Was I the only one? Like, that was the least favorite of mine out of the
I ate up Spring Waltz.
No, you did not.
Yes, that's a drama that stars Han Hyo-joo.
Yes.
She is in this show from 2006. It's the final installment of the season drama series. And we've already mentioned Autumn in My Heart. Spring Waltz, man. I really enjoyed that show. I have to rewatch it, I think, to see how it holds up.
Because this one is another one sick and dying, like... I'm sick and dying, man. Like, they get me. I can't. And I think at that point, I was over it. I think by Spring Waltz, I was like, okay, guys, I'm done of the sick. I'm done. So maybe I'm being harsh on Spring Waltz because it was the last of the
I did see it in a vacuum. I didn't know about the season series. I didn't see the other ones yet. So
true. I can see how that one would have been okay. Yeah, I can see that. Okay, I can step. But I have not seen it since. So I could be, like I said, really judging it harshly still from just that one time and being like, I'm done with this. I'm over it, guys. Stop dying. I think that could be, where I was at that point.
So we talked about some safe sadness. We talked about the beauty in tragic art. And we've talked about some of the psychology behind why these stories move us and make us remember them long after we finished watching them. Are there some recommendations that you want to give to people who kind of want to explore this side of K-drama, who might have been avoiding it, who might want to prepare for the pain, all the things?
All the things.
Yeah.
I definitely do. Again, I've already talked about a few that, one just completely ripped to shreds. But I will say, and I think you had this on your list too, one of the first one I like to think of is 49 Days.
Oh, yes.
I really enjoyed 49 Days when it was airing, and it was sad. It was definitely sad. And this one is, it's an older drama, so I know most people don't like to go back too far, but it is a fantasy kind of melodrama experience, and it does have to do with the loss of a loved one, and then also this idea of processing loss, and it to me it's so beautiful. And even the name of 49 days, this idea, like in Korean culture, needing 49 days to properly mourn a loss of a loved one. So I think it's a wonderful sad drama because it does a beautiful job at showing the process of grieving and grief and mourning in this fantastical way. So I highly recommend 49 Days. Yes, it's an older drama, but it's a good one. This one, I don't know if people have a lot of access to watching, but it's me and my kind of noir action romance kind of area. But it's called A Man's Story. Does anybody know this one? Like, this is one of my favorite dramas of all time. And I don't know if I feel like nobody watched it or they even know it existed. But this one is, to me, a good example of corruption and tragedy. Like the characters, is dealt a bad hand, right? And then they get to choose, do I do the wrong thing or do I do the right thing, right? And in the process of them doing the wrong thing, they try to do some right things, but then they do some more wrong things. You know what I mean? So it's like this back and forth for the main character. And then it ends up leading to that big rupture moment, you know, it's like, oh no, you know what I mean? Like this could have been a kind of avoided, but but you chose the wrong way, you know? So I feel like it's a beautiful, and it's revenge boksu story as well. So a man story, if you can find it.
It's also, I think, called Slingshot.
Slingshot, yes,
Slingshot.
that's the other name. Yes.
And that show aired in 2009. The show you recommended before, 49 Days, was from 2011.
I'm old, guys.
I'm not saying you're old. I'm just telling people, because sometimes, I don't know, it's a little difficult to find these.
It is. And I feel like a man's story is going to be a hard one. The Slingshot is going to be a hard one. But it's, to me, one of the best action kind of noir romance K-dramas that came out. And it also has a sad story as far as like the lead actor. He ended up killing himself at some point, unfortunately. So trigger warning there. So it's hard for me to also go back to it, if that makes sense, because of knowing that what happened to him. So it was just like, okay, this is, and maybe that's why it's such a hard drama to find as well. But it's a really good one. It was, and he did amazing in it. Unfortunate for sure. Another one I would put on there, you're going to judge me on this one. I just, now that I hit it, you know what? Now I feel really bad because I'm now hearing, you remember how you were like, oh, that's not that rare. You know, like that actually happened. That story is the ghost story.
Yeah.
Like actually, if there's a more than I thought it was. Okay. A Wrong in the Magistrate.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I actually really, really love that drama. And I think it's sad. Like the premise, of course, is about this girl who, again, same as the... my ghost. You know, she's a ghost at the very start of the story, and you're trying to kind of unravel that. But I love that. I thought it was really good. It doesn't do well with CGI. I mean, it looks old. It looks his age. I'm going to be 100% honest with people. It definitely looks his age, but I really enjoyed the story, and there's an amazing performance throughout it. And I definitely think the highlight of that is actually the actor Yeon Woo-jin, one of my favorite actors. He kills it in that. So, and he's like the second male lead, completely kills it. And he makes it really sad for me at times too. So definitely another one I would recommend, another oldie. I'm trying to think of newer ones now because now like
I
my
can
list
jump
looks
in.
really old.
I'll recommend a couple. So I'll recommend
Yes.
Light Shop from 2024. This one has a really strong cast and a very strong concept premise. My drama list synopsis reads: the series follows the story of a group of strangers who are all having a hard time processing a horrible experience from their past. Each of them is going about their normal lives when they are all strangely pulled to a light shop located on the end of a dubious alleyway. A cautious shopkeeper guards the light shop, which may contain the key to the strangers' past, present, and futures. I will not be saying more than that because I think you definitely need to experience it sort of raw and not get spoiled on it. But it is very powerful, very moving, and very, very sad. Extremely sad. Have you watched Light Shop?
No, on purpose.
Ooh.
This was one that was one of my good friends who loves K-dramas as well. She enjoys sad K-dramas. Like that's one of her comforts is just watching sad K-dramas. And she loved the Light Shop and she was completely blown away by it. And I was like, yeah, no, then I'm not going to enjoy it because it's probably going to be so sad. No, but I definitely have that on my list. It's the one that she's recommended to me. She knows that. She's gave me warnings. She's like, you got to be prepared for it. But she highly recommends that for me. For someone who doesn't like sad dramas, she still thinks it's worth it to get through the Light Shop.
You know, one that I am pulling up basically my completed list on my drama list to see if some of these are great for recommending. And Mr. Plankton, I finished this in December of 2024, and it's a 2024 drama. Have you seen Mr. Plankton? I think this one, it's got Woo Do-hwan in it.
It does. Yeah, I know. I heard so much good stuff about it. I heard so much.
Mr. Plankton, I felt, was a little divisive because it's old school. You have a toxic male lead. He's got more problems than he has solutions. And he kidnaps his basically ex-girlfriend on her wedding day. And they go on this sort of like existential journey, this adventure to find his biological father. There may or may not be some terminal illness involved.
Terminal.
And it just feels old school in a lot of the ways that we were describing some earlier dramas in this episode. And I think that hit people a little sideways.
They were taken aback.
They were taken aback because
yeah.
they thought it would have some sort of satisfactory glass half full resolution.
And it didn't.
Yeah.
I avoided it. Terminal illness. I did avoid it. I did. But I heard a lot of the people, I heard more good than I heard bad. So like even you describing like how the old school elements and like how that was like, wait a minute, I don't know if I want to enjoy that, you know?
Yeah.
I didn't hear much people complain about that element. And so they probably didn't, I don't know if they just didn't realize it, but I actually heard really good things about it and it made me interested in it. But I was like, I don't know if I can do it.
I think a couple more for me that are more recent are Our Blues from 2022 and Tomorrow from 2022. Both of those made me cry.
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow for sure was... Yeah, that made me cry.
Yeah. I have a hard time with because Tomorrow is the one with where they have Rowan,
the Green Reapers.
Yeah, the Green Reapers. Yeah, so like there's like situations where you're watching these different sad moments kind of pop up.
Yes, he's part of basically a Grim Reaper task force that is trying to prevent people from committing suicide.
Yes, I watched this drama. I did. I think I struggled with Rowan. And this one.
No, that's, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be as kind as possible.
I know. I don't want to go on to my Rowan rant. Let me not do that.
Let's save that for another.
Not the episode today.
Maybe come and check us out on the Patreon and we'll have a segment where we can let loose a little bit. But yeah, the drama is greater than Rowan.
Yes. And I love that premise. I think that's a good premise for a drama in general.
Yeah. Well, my liberation notes.
Oh, let's not talk about my liberation notes. Don't. Let's not.
The way we're like, like we my get liberation. Stung.
Oh my! When I tell you that is to me the pinnacle of my preferred sad story. That is to me.
I think there's a lot of people that would say some of these dramas, especially My Liberation Notes or even My Mister, feel like wallowing in these emotions and in the sadness. And I think that the way that we view it is this is catharsis.
It is definitely catharsis. It's a giving. Like when I talked about My Liberation Notes on my podcast when it was airing, to me, I think I did a better job of talking about it then. But I think one of the takeaways I remember saying about that drama was that it was a drama that gave me the opportunity to feel seen as just like being a person living this life in this world. You know what I mean? And I feel like that thought process that we were talking about with Slice of Life of like these ups and downs in life, and sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. It was a beautiful experience for me to, I think, process like my life during that season of me watching that drama. So to me, I have a very deep-rooted connection to the wallowing, the sadness because of what I was dealing with during the same time I was watching that drama. So to me, I can't even, I have a hard time talking about that drama because I'm like, it was the pinnacle for me of like, if I'm going to experience sadness in a drama and like I said, wallowing even, you know, this is the way I want to do it, where it just feels so, I feel so connected. I feel so seen. I feel like, hey, on the screen, even if the things that they're going through aren't the sad things that I may be going through in my life, I feel like they understand me too. You know what I mean? Like, that's what My Liberation Notes did for me. It was like, my sadness feels seen because of their sadness that they're experiencing, because it could be different types of sadness, but the way they're expressing it, the way that they're dealing with it makes me feel like, okay, this is how I can process my sadness too. So it was such an amazing drama. I will always talk about that drama being one of the best dramas I've ever watched. And it's going to be with me for the rest of my life. Like,
oh my God.
Hands down. I'm sorry. My Liberation Notes is my, like I said, pinnacle for me. It did something for me that I, like, not even My Mister did for me. And then it's the same writer.
Yeah.
But it was just like on another level for me personally. Yeah. So I didn't want to talk about it as just a sad K-drama either, because I feel like it is that slice of life that I'm just like, yeah, this is This is what I want. When I talk about sad and slice of life is my liberation notes.
Oh my gosh. Girl, what do you think of Cain and Abel?
I love Cain and Abel.
Yeah.
You don't like Cain and Abel? Oh,
no,
do you do?
I freaking love Cain and Abel.
Love Cain and Abel.
Love
I mean,
it.
it's to me, it's a drama that I want my best friend to watch still to this day. Like, she has never watched this. She doesn't watch K-dramas at all. But I was like, if I could pick one for her, I would start with Cain and Abel, which is such a weird one. But it was like, because, I mean, it's just a great retelling adaptation of this biblical story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just and it feels so literary. Like the actual drama itself feels literary. Like, I think they did an amazing job with Cain and Abel.
That one hurt too.
It hurts.
That one hurts.
It hurts, but
it's more like
so
action
good.
Revenge, but
My
also
favorite.
pain.
Yeah,
Also hurt.
But so much pain, so much hurt. But like, it makes sense. The pain and hurt. It's the story of Cain and Abel. You know what I mean? Like, it makes sense. It's Cain and Abel. You know,
You know, the first murder.
the first
Yeah.
the first of its kind. You know, like, it's just so good. I definitely think Cain and Abel is amazing. I mean, you took it old school there.
I did. That's
You
2009.
took it back.
Yeah.
Took it back.
Soju
Love
Sub,
it.
my boy.
I know. So you sub. You
Yeah.
know what? Okay, this is going to be interesting. Going back a little bit again. What are your thoughts on? Did you watch Padam Padam?
Oh, I dropped that one.
I hear that all the time.
dropped
Everyone always like
it.
they dropped it. I dropped it originally when it was airing, and then went back and watched it after years had passed. And to me,
Is that with Han Ji-min again?
it is.
Okay,
It is
I'm
with
not
Han
the
Ji-min.
biggest fan.
I
of Han
know.
Ji-min.
Well, people cannot. I cannot stand her, and I have mixed feelings. I feel like she is not. When I do watch a drama and I end up enjoying one that she's in, I realize that it wasn't her that I enjoyed in the drama. You know what I mean? Like, there was usually probably the male lead. Like, there's
Yes.
something else. I was like, this is the story.
I
Like, Han
understand.
Ji-min, was she in that story? Like, that's how I feel about Padam Padam. Like, she's not, to me, the heart of that story at all.
Yeah.
Like, it is Woo-sung. Jung Woo-sung is the male lead in that. And then you have Kim Bum. Those two and their relationship in their story was, to me, the most beautiful,
Are they
sad.
brothers? I can't
No,
remember.
they're not. They met each other when they were in jail. So they're like prison
yes,
buddies.
Yes. He's like
And they
ex-convict.
get out. Yes, they're ex-convict. They
That's
get
right,
out of
that's
jail
right.
at the same time. And he's like his, Kim Bum plays the internal younger brother beautifully. So he does a great job in that role. But then there's like this fantastical element at the end of Padam Padam. Well, not even at the end, throughout the entire story with the Kim Bum character. And you don't know if he's even real at some point. And you're like, wait, is he there? Is he real? And I loved that. I mean, it was just so beautiful. Like, the ending
When
to
they
me was
do
so
that in
beautiful.
shows, I'm always when they do it and you're actually caught off guard.
Caught off guard. Like,
That's the
what?
best.
Yeah, I
That
love
is the best
it.
moment.
It's literally Fight
Live
Club.
for
You
it.
know, it's like, wait, this is not real?
They
Like,
were
they're
never
supposed-
there?
They're there? You know? So to this day,
This
I still
house
don't know.
has been empty for 40 years.
I love it. I mean, it turns to a horror film all of a sudden. Like, wait a minute. I thought this was a sad story. Yeah, so I think that was another one for me where it's like, he is dying. You know, there's a terminal illness element to that, but that wasn't this. That didn't make it sad for me. It was this relationship, this connection between these two that made it really sad and beautiful at the end for me. So I don't know. That would be an example for me of like, I can stomach that terminal kind of storyline because I was focused on something else. I think
got
throughout
you.
their story.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there was one show that I was thinking of as you were speaking, because I was drawn to another avenue for us to talk through is trauma porn versus earned grief, which we already talked about, earned versus unearned.
Yeah.
But there's some sad shows like, do you remember the show I Miss You?
I have it on my list to talk about.
Oh my God.
Yes, we have to talk about I Miss You, because that is definitely the trauma. That's a trauma bonding one for sure.
That one,
That was torturous.
I
When
have
I
crazy
tell you,
eyes.
I don't ever want to see anything from that drama ever again.
Same.
Like that opening,
Oh, no.
them as young. I said, why would you even?
That's the worst young
Why would you
childhood sequence
I have ever
series
seen.
that I have ever seen.
And I never want to see it again. Like, I could not believe they even did it. I think because I watched it when it was airing. I was like, are they kidding me?
No,
right
it
now? Like,
completely gagged me.
I cannot believe they did that.
Yeah.
It was torturous. And
Torture.
then to grow them up,
And then they,
Jess.
no.
Look, you should see us. We just started looking at you like, are you?
Incredulous.
I miss you. I Miss You is one of the worst. Like, I cannot believe they even let that go all the way through. Like, they should have cut that. And like, you know,
it makes Out of My Heart and all of the other melodramas look like a cakewalk.
It's
a circus in comparison.
It is all trauma. It is all trauma. And then the idea that the grief stretches across these years. You know what I mean? Like, and it's the worst when they're young. Like, when the actual trauma happens.
Yes.
When they're so young. To me, that is just like, I can't watch this. You know, like,
so to give people a little, I don't want to go into too much detail, but to give a taste of what this scene or series starts with is these two kids, the male lead and the female lead, as children, and they get kidnapped, and the male lead has the opportunity to escape.
Yes.
And he escapes without her. Meanwhile, she gets raped.
She gets raped as a young child, young girl.
And he witnesses it and
he
does
watches
not
it.
help.
He watches it.
Watches it, yeah.
To me, like I said, I can't believe they did this.
Beyond
I can't
the pale.
believe they.
Beyond the pale.
It was beyond. I can't believe they did it. I mean, it was horrific. It was horrific. And like I said, this idea.
And they say only Netflix does dark K-dramas nowadays.
Exactly.
Like, please.
And then also think about it. This is a love story. They
were like
put
their
them
first
together.
loves, like childhood sweethearts.
And then they try to put them back together again. You know, like they try to put them back together again after that.
It was
like
really sickening.
I could not stomach that. And you know what? That's what, you know,
and I think that's a sad show that fails.
It does fail. Like, that is not earned, because how dare you do that to me? Like, I can't believe you did that to me. And it makes me think about why I was so traumatized by the drama that just aired last year, Queen Mantis, you know, where it was the murder, the serial killer story. That was the ending. And I'm sorry if I'm spoiling Queen Mantis for anybody, but I don't recommend watching it. Like, because I mean, it was well done. Like, no, don't get me wrong. The drama is actually well done. It was beautifully performed, but the ending, what revealed kind of like what led this woman to be the woman that is a murderer and killing these people. It's like when she was a young girl, she was being molested by her father. Like, that reveal at the end was, to me, I completely canceled the drama for me. I was like, I can't believe I watched this. Like, it really shook me to the core. And so those stories, when you have that as an element to me, it's like, it's not just sadness at that point. It's just like, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, I feel like that way with I Miss You. Like, I didn't know what to do after that opening.
And there was no language.
There was nothing.
No therapizing language that we could lean on and be like, well, that was traumatizing. It was just so shocking.
It shocks you. It completely shocks you. And then, like I said, to go on and progress through the rest of the drama, like
how they did. I don't know. It just felt disrespectful.
It felt a little disrespectful. It did.
I think that's the word that I want to lean on, is it just felt disrespectful. It felt icky.
Yeah, it did. And you know what? Maybe we should have did a trigger warning for this topic, because I'm talking about, you know, Queen Mantis, which deserves a huge trigger warning. But it's just like, oh my gosh, when I think about those elements in a story, a K-drama, to me, those feel like untouchable. Like, I almost feel like I can't really do those. Like, it's not, like I said, it's beyond sad to me.
And maybe it's just K-dramas, the industry hasn't had
tons of those
successful.
I
don't know how to tell the story successfully.
I don't think they can. Because even the story, what was the one, I'm Sorry, I Love You, how we had that moment we were talking about, what was it? Who was it in that drama where we were both like, there was this weird moment where we're like,
it was the sister,
yeah,
who got sexually harassed in the streets.
And we couldn't really, you know, like, they didn't go all the way there, but there was like an undertone of like they were trying to allude to that. And it was like, that was, to me, that's the best that they can do.
Or even allude to how this mentally disabled woman has a child.
In the first place. In the first place.
Yeah.
Yes. So I feel like that was like the most that they can do.
That was the most tasteful
they could do.
Ones that we've mentioned that had some sort of sexual violence involved.
Yes, and it was kind of like there was this allusion to it, as opposed to like that I Miss You.
When
that
they spell it out, you're like, oh.
Whoa. And like I said, to put it in that scenario of the young boy running away and then turning back and then seeing it, like, That's just, it's like, come on, guys.
It's
like,
just
line cross, guys. I can't.
And then they try and redeem the whole thing.
They try to redeem
They
it.
can't clean it up. They cannot clean it up.
They cannot. And I think this is one of the big complaints that I know back, not just back then, but just in general with K-dramas. I feel like they're doing a little bit better these days, but like how there is no language, like you were saying, there's no language for these moments and how to process them. And instead of them giving the characters an opportunity to do that, they just jump to the next plot point. And it's like, hey, that's not safe. That's not safe. In real life, that's not safe. You know, someone just growing up without ever processing or going through some kind of therapy, like they don't show that.
But she went overseas too in that story, so it would also be more believable if she had tried
some
to
kind
help.
of access, some access to that. They don't show that.
Yeah.
So I feel like that is a problem in general with some of those older K-dramas. It's like they just kind of jump to the next plot moment without allowing the characters actually to process
some sort of respect on what just happened or
what just happened. Yeah. Because I need it as the audience. Like I need a moment. You're not giving me a moment. You're getting to the next scene, you know, and I'm like, okay, we're moving on. She's aged up, you know, like, okay.
Did you see Queen of Tears?
No.
Okay, never mind.
No.
We won't talk about it because I've never seen it either.
What? You haven't seen it either?
No,
okay.
And it's just, I'll probably cut this out later, but basically in Queen of Tears, the husband and wife, she's a chaebol heiress and he is not. And this is my understanding of it because I've been told by what feels like 50 people the general plot of the show. But in the beginning, they go through a miscarriage.
Oh no. Okay.
They go through this really traumatic emotional experience.
Yeah.
And that is the reason why they sort of start drawing apart. But they never unpack that.
So the whole drama
just kind of throw K-drama machinations at it and like family drama versus they could have stuck there for all 16 episodes.
We need to
and like
process
work
this.
out the marriage versus
yes.
like, oh, what auntie is trying to take over the company.
See, I don't like that.
They don't linger where they should.
Yes. And I feel like that is such a missing point for K-dramas these days. I feel like if they were to allow them to go there, that would be refreshing. Like that would be new. That would be like, whoa, I've never really seen this before. So you're like, that's a missed opportunity. That's a missed opportunity. But no, I've never seen Queen of Tears and probably for good reason. It sounds like.
Any other shows that you wanted to talk about?
I mean, I feel like there's tons, and I
there's
feel
so
like
many.
There's so many, and I feel like again, to some people, some things are sadder than like some things are not sad. Like, and other people's like, well, I cried every episode. Like, what do you mean? And so I do feel like the experience of watching a sad drama, be it like the drama itself is sad, or there's a really sad element to it. Because even for example, I just thought about that when I said sad element, something like The King Two Hearts. That drama is not sad, right? But then it gets to this horrific, sad, sudden rupture moment.
The point of no return.
Yeah, like that is the like, oh my gosh, I do remember that the most about that drama. So yeah, I do feel like it depends on what you're watching, what you how you take certain things in. But I do like that we have the option, right, to experience sad dramas in these different ways. And if I can't get through a story that's about a terminal illness character dealing with terminal illness, but I can get this other experience, that's sad, this slice of life sadness, you know what I mean? Like, I still get to have that same experience. Like we were trying to describe in the beginning of like the catharsis, this kind of shared endurance of like the sad moments and feeling like I get to experience sadness in a safe space. Everyone gets to have that. And so I think we recommend that even if you can't do a certain type of sad K-drama, there may be a K-drama with sadness that you can do. And you should try it. You should do it. All fluff all the time, I get it. But at the same time, there are some good ones out there.
Absolutely. So in conclusion, we don't just love sad dramas because we like pain. We're not complete masochists, but we love them because they treat emotion as something worth sitting with. And hopefully after listening to all of the shows that we have discussed throughout the show, hopefully we offered some validation, some language that maybe helps you process or figure out why you like these or why you don't like these, and kind of gave you some meaning behind our love for sad dramas and why they kind of stick a little better than the fluffy dramas.
They do.
And keep you invested for longer. Anything else you want to add, Lola?
No, I just think, like I said, I agree with the fact that we do sign off on sad dramas, even though I may be the biggest, proponent if people heard me. But like, I don't watch that. I don't like this. But I do still like sad dramas. It just depends on how they tell that sadness and how they portray that sadness. And then they're not, beating me over the head and telling me to be sad from the very first episode. I think I enjoy sad dramas, but I do feel like it's an experience one way or the other, and take it as you can. Everybody can't take tons of them all the time. So throw in your fluff when you can, but definitely still give some sad dramas a chance. And I'll do a better job of going back and watching some ones that I skipped, okay? I can be honest, I have skipped a lot of sad dramas in my day, but I'm doing better. Like I said, I do better picking them up and going through it. And like I said, it helps me process sad things when I'm able to watch these sad dramas. So It helps.
All right. I will have a list of all of the dramas that we brought up on this podcast episode in the show notes in case you want to check them out for Rex, or if you want to avoid some of these because we spoke ill of them. But either way, thank you, Lola, for coming on the show and doing a freestyle episode on sad dramas. Where can we find you online?
Yes, so you can find me on IG at Lola Pops Off About K-Dramas. You also can listen to my own podcast, Lola Pops Off About K-Dramas, anywhere that you listen to podcasts. I do have a website. It hasn't been updated in a little while, but it is lolapopsoffaboutKdramas.com. And I am working on a YouTube channel. So if you see it, it is me. I don't want people to think that it's not like somebody made a fake, it actually is me. Just is under construction as of right now. But again, that's Lola at Lola Pops Off About K-Dramas.
All right. Thank you, Lola.
I'll
see you soon. And that's been our show. I'm Jessica, and this has been the Daebak K-Rambles Podcast.
Blowing ad budget on metrics that look great till the CFO sees them? That's bull spend. And marketers are calling it out in Dashboard Confessions.
I remember telling my boss, it'll be good for the brand, when leads were slow. Yeah, it wasn't.
Cut the bull spend. LinkedIn lets you target by company, job title, and more. Advertise on LinkedIn. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a $250 credit. Go to linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
This episode is brought to you by Netflix's Remarkably Bright Creatures. What if a Pacific octopus held the key to a mystery that could heal your heart? Well, that's Tova's reality. An elderly widow working at an aquarium. Tova forms an unlikely friendship with the curmudgeonly Marcellus, whose remarkable intelligence leads her to a life-changing discovery. Remarkably Bright Creatures is now playing, only on Netflix.